Hey guys, what's going on? This is Brad from the Ed Army, and as you can tell, Red Hybrid is burning its way onto What's the Scoop as we have the cards from BT17, as we will be going over them shortly to show you the new wave of support focused around, I guess you would say, Ancient Greymon, but you can use it for any of the Red Hybrid strategies. But before I get into it, as always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, but also, we are on the surge to 250 subs. At the time of recording, we are at 220 subs, so we are shortly there to 250. I can't wait till you get there, and please come along if you're listening. But let's get into it today, as Red Hybrid is going to be the focus. But also remember really quickly that when you get to see these videos, it's not just a first look for you, it's a first look for me too, as we get to enjoy both on your end learning about the new cards, but I also get to talk about them so that I understand as well, so that you get the help that you need when trying to pick up the Digimon TCG. So let's jump straight into it. We have actually a decent line here. So a line for you guys who don't know, because I will put this in here for maybe some more newer people who are checking out my videos. Obviously a line all the way from like a rookie all the way up to like a mega, something like that, as well as additional support cards. But a new line of Digimon is always really important for most decks, just because it helps you get started. But Red Hybrid is one of the most important ones, and we're starting with a brand new level 3. We have a brand new Flamemon here, which is going to be really impactful for the strategy going forward, as it is a 3-2 play, 1000 DP, and can Digivolve on top of any red and purple level 2 for a cost of 0, and has a very powerful effect. So starting off on play, we reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you get to add 1 card with the Hybrid or 10 Warriors trait, and 1 Tamer card with inherited effects among them to the hand. You place the rest on the deck bottom as always, and then on deletion, you may place or play 1 Tamer card with inherited effects from your hand without paying the cost. Now we'll move into a brand new Agunimon for this support. It is actually the first dual color Agunimon, being red and purple, with a hard play cost of 6, 5000 DP, and can Digivolve on top of any red or purple level 3 for a cost of 3. And starting off, it has special evolution conditions where it can Digivolve on top of Takuya Kambara for a cost of 2, and or Burning Greymon for a cost of 1. This card can also carries the standard hybrid effect where you can Digivolve on top of any of your red tamers as if it is a level 3 red Digimon, treating its evolution cost as such. Then when Digivolving, if Burning Greymon is in this Digimon's Digievolution cards, or you have a blue or green Digimon or Tamer, this Digimon may Digivolve into Ancient Greymon in the hand for a Digievolution cost of 3, and you ignore its Digievolution requirements. If this effect Digivolved, you delete this Digimon at the end of this turn. Its inheritable is this Digimon during your turn gets 2000 DP. Now moving into its counterpart, we have the brand new Burning Greymon, Vitramon for those people who know about the sub, but pretty much we have the brand new Burning Greymon here, which is a play cost 6 with 6000 DP. It Digivolve on top of any red level 3 or purple for a cost of 3, and carries evolution conditions very similar to Agunimon, where it can Digivolve on top of Takuya Kambara for a cost of 2, but also on top of Agunimon for a cost of 1. It carries the same evolution condition where it can Digivolve on top of red Tamers for as if they're level 3 Digimon, but this one carries for its special ability or its effect is going to be Raid. And then when attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the hybrid trait in the hand with the Digievolution cost reduced by 1, so really, really cool. And it's inheritable as well as Agunimon is your turn. This Digimon gets 2000 DP. Really, really nice. Moving into the brand new Aldemon, which is here, which is really interesting. It is a play cost 8 with 8000 DP. It is able to Digivolve on top of any red or purple level 4 for a cost of 4, and obviously is a level 5, and carries with it a unique way of evolving here. So it has a hand main effect. So basically similar to Ace Digimon, by placing 1 Agunimon and 1 Burning Greymon from your trash under one of your Takuya Kambaras, you Digivolve it into this card as if that card is a level 4 red Digimon for a Digievolution cost of 3. Then when Digivolving, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. For its inheritable, your turn, when this Digimon has the hybrid or 10 Warriors trait, it doesn't activate security effects on option cards it checks. So moving into the final Digimon for this line, we have the brand new Ancient Greymon here, which is actually, to go along with the line, a dual color, red-purple. It has 12,000 DP with a play cost of 12, and Digivolves on top of any red or purple level 5 for a cost of 4. This Digimon is very unique as it has a few things. So starting off, it has Security Attack +1 standard. Then on play and when Digivolving, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. Then on deletion, you return one Tamer card and one Hybrid Trait Digimon card from your trash to the hand. Then you may play one Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Additionally, Ancient Greymon carries with it Digi-Crossing requirements, which allows it to reduce its play cost, subtracting 3 from the play cost if you place either Agunimon or Burning Greymon into its source. So that is fantastic. Now, that's the last Digimon. We'll move into the new Tamer and the new options. So starting off, we have our brand new Takuya Kumbara. This one is definitely designed to synergize around the already existing Takuyas, as this one is just a little bit simpler and does kind of help out for these more Ancient Greymon based decks. So starting off, obviously it can be played from security without paying the cost, and at the start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, you get to gain 1 memory. Good. Then for its inheritable, because obviously these Tamers have inheritable traits for the hybrid decks, your turn, this Digimon gets 2,000 DP. While this Digimon has 10,000 DP or more, it gains Piercing. So really, really nice. And finally, we have our final card, the new option card. This is Ancient Guardian Deity, or Deity, whichever way you pronounce it. So while you have a Tamer or a Digimon card with the hybrid trait, you may ignore this card's color requirements. And for its main effect, you may return one Digimon card with the hybrid or 10 Warriors trait from your trash to the hand. Then you may play one Digimon card with the 10 Warriors trait or one Tamer card with inherited effects from your hand with the play cost reduced by 4. And then for its security, in the security, you may play one Tamer card with the inherited effects from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then you get to add this card to the hand. So good. Those are all the cards. So let's get started talking about the brand new support. So let's talk about the brand new line. So this brand new line, as you can tell, is very unique because this is the first dual color line you are seeing for the Agunimon and the red hybrid lines. Most of them always, or all of them, have been purple. Or I mean, all of them have been red. So this is the first time they've been adding new elements to add the colors to them. So this is a bit interesting. I like the fact that since this is Ancient Greymon design, they also kept it thematically inclined with some of the other cards. So a good example is the new Agunimon is very similar to the promo Agunimon, which when you attack, you can warp Digivolve that Agunimon into Ancient Greymon. So that's already helpful. The new support is very unique because it basically is a little bit of the better of the old stuff added with some of the new stuff. So what I mean by this is with the new Burning Greymon, for instance, it has Raid, which allows red hybrid, something it didn't really have access to before, which was like board clearing on a smaller level, because usually when they were clearing boards of the opponent's Digimon, it was only really through something like Emperor Greymon or cards they had to run outside of the support. So I remember seeing people run like Crimson Blaze and stuff like that, but now it has access to Raid, which will allow Burning Greymon with like an Agunimon underneath it to just kind of clear any Digimon in its path. So that's really, really cool. Another thing too that I do like about the brand new Aldemon is that it having a hand main effect is kind of interesting, because now they're going to be starting to implement that for some of the other Digimon going forward, where it can just simply effectively, you could say it's like the evolution in the anime where Takuya uses both of the spirits, but you do have to have some setup for Aldemon, because it is basically like a rebound effect, I think, where if someone wipes your board and you have Takuya and both of your pieces are in the the trash, you're able to rebound here, get them underneath Takuya, go into Aldemon, and now you have access to your higher end with like your level 6s and whatnot. So that's really powerful there. And then also, I don't want to forget the brand new Flamemon, I think is absolutely perfect. I think it's exactly what the hybrid decks were missing for pieces, because now you have access to another searcher, one that gets you both a inherited Tamer as well as access to your hybrid lines. So now it's just so good. I mean, there's no way to just not ignore the fact that it's good. And the on deletion effect is really good, because now you get to cycle out more of your Tamers. So I think this is really good for red hybrid, because now there are times where you have your rookie, you maybe have a champion, but you have a bunch of Tamers in your hand, and you need to get them onto the field, because you could start playing them, but if your opponent's smart, they might just start giving you or choke you with memory, because the Tamers still can't attack you, right? So I've seen that before, and I think now with the new Flamemon, what this is designed to do is to rotate in your Tamers quicker by allowing some of your Digimon to, or your champions at least, to die in the beginning game, allow you to rotate the Tamers around and get set up for some of these trash plays, which is really cool. Finally, we can't ignore Ancient Greymon here. I think Ancient Greymon has come back in a big way. I like that it has Digicross. I think it's really good that they've been starting to implement Digicross all over the place in terms of just using it on Digimon or decks that kind of need this additional oomph. And I think it's really cool that they haven't been like just locking it into the Cross Wars decks. So obviously Ancient Greymon can really benefit from this by just being able to play itself out for like 6. And pretty much it having security attack +1, really solid. I don't really think it needed to have any more. One of the benefits I think ultimately of this support is that there is another Ancient Greymon. I think Ancient Greymon as a deck, biggest weakness was the fact it needed one more Ancient Greymon, because the problem was the Ancient Greymon from BT4, or all the way from BT4 is really good from Great Legend. The problem was there was only 4 copies, so until you had more searching power, you were unable to get to Ancient Greymon quickly. Now there's no excuse. You have access to Ancient Greymon. He is able to be gotten twice now, so you have your memory boost. You have access to cards like your trainings. You have access to your Flamemons that can now search it. The point is this card is now very easy to get, and now your warping lines for like promo Gunimon are now set up. So now Ancient Greymon can hit the board at any time. So pretty much the whole Digimon line here is pretty good. I do think you can choose to play some of the other new ones or not to. It's kind of an up to you thing. But also Ancient Greymon is now here. So both cards can fall into Red Hybrid, but also they can also fold into Ancient Greymon as well. So those builds are not neglected at all. Moving into both the new Tamer and the brand new Ancient Guardian Deity. I've talked about the Ancient Guardian Deity card in Blue Hybrid, so I will talk about some of the differences that it does here. But starting off specifically with Takuya, I think this is fantastic because one more name, Takuya, really does allow you to play, I think, the sweet spot of Tamers you want, which is about 10. And the reason I say it's 10 is that you kind of want to play some number of like 4 copies of the actual memory setter Takuya, because it just does a lot, because it gives you that extra memory to start your turn, which is what Red Hybrid needs a lot. So having the access to that is great, but also having access to your warping Takuya into Emperor Greymon, or just setting up lines with its effect by stacking secure cards from the trash underneath it for sources, is now really impactful, because in the massive, or with the inclusion of the old Ancient Greymon from BT4, you're now having more ways to cycle a lot of good inheritables underneath it. So now it can do a lot of damage with really good cards. But I think the important thing that this card does is that it basically says, hey, if you can get over the threshold, you now have piercing. If you also are now having this card out, you could passively just leave it on the board as an opening play, because it will be netting you a memory as long as your opponent has Digimon on the board. So that by itself is really, really good, because I do think that one of the struggles that Hybrid will have sometimes is it will have this weird spot where it needs like an extra memory or two, but unless they're playing Gravity Crush, they're not really pushing for it. So this allows the deck to now basically gain that extra memory, to have that 4 memory sweet spot, as I'd like to say. So it basically says, hey, I can go ahead, memory boost up, or basically use a delay if you have a training boost, use that effect, go into something. Now I have 4 memory. I could go into a level 5 for 1 if it's like Aldemon from BT7, or in this case, you can go down to 1 with the Aldemon from this set. Then you can go into something like Emperor Greymon, which has Blitz from BT7. So basically, you start to see where the avenues are kind of picking back and forth. The strategies are starting to line up. The cards are starting to work together better, and they're fitting really well. For Ancient Guardian Deity in this deck, I think one of its massive benefits is that it's going to have probably the best deck in terms of having Tamer access. So one of the problems I think that Ancient Guardian Deity has right now is that besides Takuya and eventually Koji in BT17, there isn't enough inherited effect Tamers from each different, Tamer of the Frontier group to actually play this effect a little bit better. Because really what you want to do with Ancient Guardian Deity is cycle out your Tamers. Because by cycling out your Tamers, you're now going to have access to pressuring your opponent. I think that's kind of the key here, is that a lot of people will be using Ancient Guardian Deity to kind of basically work with the ancient decks better, like Garurumon and Greymon. But in the actual hybrid strategies, Guardian Deity will probably see the most play, at least in the red hybrid variants, as maybe a recycling piece, as well as a tempo piece to allow you to kind of cycle your Tamers back into rotation, or vice versa, bring them out. So it does have those really good effects. And I do think its basically main benefit is the fact that as long as you have a Tamer on board and they get hit in security, you should be doing something. So in red hybrid, it just has the best chance of seeing the most hits. So pretty much that's it for the support, guys. Like I said, for this video, just like blue hybrid, there's not really much you need to say because the decks kind of will play themselves out with their support because they are very archetypal locked. I don't really think you need to make any different like changes. And I think with red hybrid, its best strength is that it is the most archetypal locked so far, as red is the easiest color for hybrid to work right now, as it will be changing in the future, probably when we receive the next like Koji or stuff like that to kind of boost up the consistency of the hybrid strategies. So pretty much a lot of them are going to take advantage of Ancient Guardian Deity, but red is probably the best one that can use it right now, or at least when BT17 comes out. So yeah, but pretty much that's all I've got for you guys today. This has been What's the Scoop, focusing on red hybrid. And for all of you that have been watching, I really do hope you enjoyed it. Remember to let me know down in the comments below what is your favorite hybrid color, because it is important so I get to know what you guys are thinking. But as always, this has been Brad from the Ad Army signing off. And for all of you out there, to sign on.